Right, you lot, and welcome back to the second channel. And I've been starting a series lately where I have been going through my album song by song. I did it for Not Enough and changed the title, but changed the title was on the other one. But of course, I officially started it last time when I did Bandage, and it was a very good lyric breakdown. So I wanted to do something a bit different to Bandage this time. I wanted to break down a song that maybe isn't as complex or thematically rich in the themes, but still a song that works, you know what I mean? Still a song that is effective. So this song is called U-Turn, and this was one of the very early songs that I came up with, and I wanted to do a song dedicated to a group, a collective of people who are villains, antagonists, problematic in my life, and I wanted to actually do a song where it's like, okay, I'm actually hating someone else. I wanted to do some early 90s style, that kind of diss track rap almost feel, you know, that kind of Eminem, Slim Shady era, that kind of stuff. I wanted to do something like that for a long time. I wanted to do some actual bars. Like, I didn't really do bars because I'm not very cool. And I do hate a lot of modern rap because a lot of it is like there's so much that the rappers could say. There's so much bad things in the world that could talk about, but they don't tend to. They just go on about the same five things about how much money they make, how many girls they have, and what drugs they do, and it's or like how much money they spend, or like it gets tiring, repetitive. So when I started my music career and started doing rap songs, I actually wanted to say something, not just about me, but actually make a bit of a statement. But U-Turn was the exception to that rule because U-Turn was a side project. It was a unique. I wanted to do a few unique anomalies on the album because I think it made sense, and I think U-Turn was one of the biggest examples of that. So yeah, let's get on to it. So this is the song where I start with the hook. So I go, you make a U-turn, then you change your mind, you make a U-turn, and every time you can change like the seasons for the stupidest reason from lover to treason. So the people I would find that they would change their opinion in the quick of in the speed of the flash, and they change their opinion based on what other people would say. They couldn't uphold to their own standards and beliefs, and very quickly, and especially with certain members, you very much went from you are the second coming of Jesus to you are the second coming of the Nazis. Like that was what it was, and it was such drastic change from one era to the other. So yeah, you're like an all Lord praising monarchy, but when it comes to commentators so cowardly, have all these outrun beliefs and ideologies, but you don't have the guts to stand up to me. They never said anything to my face. They never addressed. They did everything behind closed doors, behind your back. You know, it was pussy-esque. It was like it was because they didn't have anything. That was the thing. They didn't have enough points. They knew they couldn't go toe to toe. They did go toe to toe, they would lose. So they did it sneakily, snidely, and it was pathetic. Truly. You ain't brothers in arms, you into your team, just yes men to selfish monarchies, from not emotional neighbour, incredible hope that you just wins it. So the kind of ringleader of this group was very much someone who could very much go from fine to absolute smashing down the place in a matter of seconds. And I like that kind of emotion, an incredible Hulk connection there. Honestly, you're nearly adults, but you can't form an opinion without impulse. Have no clue how to deal with a person who agree. Owes your granddad dead, getting against another way a week. When one of my friends lost someone quite personal to them, the way they dealt with that and reacted to it, not only were the condolences extremely late, but they were half-assed, they were little to no fault, and they would give the condolences and then quickly change the subject to video gaming and Genshin Impact, and it was like, what are you doing? You have no clue, you are out of your depth. I'm just going to believe anything I've been told about a second thought. That claim's ridiculous and bold. Look at me, I beat up the fat kid. I'm like the cream of the crop for hell in Madrid. They hated me for a rumour, which had no backing, evidence, or proof, because frankly I didn't do it. So it was really pathetic. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to believe bloody anything because he said it. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. And the Fat Kid line is like they would bait people up, but they would never go for someone like me or someone a bit more stronger. No, they'd only go for the weakest target, hate on people smaller than them, no one their own size, that kind of thing. So yeah. And then we got the chorus again, which I've already explained that. So verse 2, thought you were safe with the one who started this petty feud and hating me like that, something's not even fact. Don't even evidence now that that's retreading the whole idea of like, okay, you literally have no evidence or proof. I'm not scared or frightened by what you have, because what you have has no backing behind it. And even if you could convince people into it, I always have the upper hand because I don't have the evidence, because they don't have the evidence and I have evidence could prove against allegations against them, but I don't bring it out because I do respect them. And it's kind of that thing, it's like, yeah, they actually started this. I did my thing, they did theirs, but they made a deal out of it, so I'm gonna retaliate and do anything to passively make us flat. Honestly, a bunch of bloody rats. Your sense of humour is 6 feet under. Oh, I say your neighbours like newt your thunder. Act like I've killed your whole family only a tiny blunder. Oh, why don't you go to their place? Geez, I wonder. A few things to break down there. Yeah, whenever they try and do something to us, they'd always do it behind our backs. It was never face-to-face confrontational. It was always like these snidey things, and they'd come up, and they were rats in that sense. And sense of humour 6 feet under. Okay, it's not really a good point, but they're just not very funny in my opinion. Like, that's all it is. And then there was a point where I made a slight like dig in a video, YouTube video. Well, it wasn't even a dig. Like, it was literally one of the how to be video. I literally just said one of their names. It was the how to be bra video, and the whole joke was that I was mocking bra. Like, that was the point of how to be bra moment, was that you're mocking the person the video's about. It's not mocking them. It's not that I did how to be them. No. And they reacted as if I just killed their entire family, only a slight reference, and it was ridiculous. And then the why they did their place is just people failing to understand the obvious that there's a divide here. For God's sake, grow a thick skin of the world, not your well and truly away. And then verse 3, you need to calm down, throw away joking at our throats. Oh, your poor wife, certificate of the light. You want to be an army, how fruity, the only army you ever know called a duty. To entertain the beast for you aim for the beauty. You got nowhere in life. You'll be begging on your knees. You've reached my stripe. So that bit is like more just me mocking them and throwing out some bars, like saying, "Oh, you want to be in the army? You're never gonna get there. You're fat. You best army you do is Call of Duty." That sort of thing. It's like, "Oh, you ain't gonna get any white." Pathetic. I could have gone harder in there, but I didn't want to go too much into them because I don't actually have that much against them really. I think they're harmless in most senses until they went at me and then I retaliated. So yeah, U-Turn is a very complex song. Like, in the sense that it's like there's a lot of parts, there's a lot of niche references that I feel like that's why I've done kind of a genius breakdown of this song, because I don't think a lot of people are going to get it because it's niche. I think other than my songs are more universal, and this isn't one of my Hollywood songs. It was a single text message, but it's not one of the big hits. It's just something I wanted to do, and I'm really excited, happy with how U-Turn turned out.